Great win by the Mavs, though, 116-101 against a Bucks squad with no Giannis, but you hold another team under 110. That's kind of my level, and right around 100 is great. I felt like it was a must-win, and I was sweating it. Obviously, everybody was. The Mavs outscored by 19 in the fourth to end up making it look much more convincing than it was. Because I tell you what, this Mavs team is thin in the front court. And I thought Bobby Portis and Lopez were just going to keep rebounding that basketball. But the Mavs, they take care of business in the paint. They get, enough rebounds done. I think they ended up, and salute to Kristaps Porzingis with his 17 boards for being a big part of that. He answered the bell in a big way.
Yeah, and it turns out giving him the ball occasionally in the fourth quarter does work sometimes.
He's a scorer.
He had 11 points in the fourth quarter, and he was probably the biggest reason. I mean, Luka was giving him the good looks, but it was maybe the biggest reason that you won that game was Porzingis in the fourth.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things with Porzingis. It appears that when people talk poorly about him or something happens, you usually get the best from him the next day. That's the one thing when you watch these games. It's like, okay, there's a little bit of controversy here. Oh wait, he's not getting the ball. Oh, he's mentioning about the ball movement wasn't as good tonight. Then the next night, it's like things kind of show up for him a little bit better. We talked about some of the times when he's hurt, he's banged up, and he hears those things. And then he comes out and he has another nice night, or starts to do things in a right way. So
maybe he's kind of chip on the shoulder guy.
I think he's very much a chip on the shoulder guy. And I think he's being very honest too about this thing. I know Jeff brought up this about, with him and his relationship with Luka. And I think he's been very honest about that. But the chip on the shoulder guy, I think he's a guy that hears every single thing that's either said about him, and then he reads everything that is written about him.
Yeah, that's kind of the bigger story is the undertone of the relationship between Porzingis and Luka and their on-court chemistry. Do they like each other? All that stuff, and fans are really, really noticing it. And his comments last night, he was asked about the on-court chemistry between him and Luka, and he basically said, we just need to work on helping each other on the court. And it kind of sounded like we're just going to try to play through it, and I don't know. Is it more passive-aggressive stuff from Porzingis? I think so.
Or just honesty, which that's what surprised me. Like when you read the quotes, it's like, oh, I guess that makes sense, but he never really said they were buddies. But when you watch it and hear it, you're like, oh God, okay, you guys just won a big game. And Porzingis, Brad Townsend, I love that he asked it because he's like, hey, fans are really paying attention to the fact that you and Luka don't really interact in the court at all, and thought in the fourth quarter when you guys did the fist bump that the world might explode. And he was like, we both want to win. It's our job to win, and we're gonna try to help each other win. I was like, golly, because normally you fake it.
Yeah.
Like normally it'd be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about with what you want us to hug or whatever. I was like, I love him. He loves me. We're gung ho about this. So your two star players are not friends.
Well,
I'm safe saying that.
Here we go.
They ain't friendly.
Let's go into the Pimp Cup real quick. Lucius has pulled that cut up here for us.
Yeah, AKP. What would you say your connection level is like on the court with Luka? That was 2 fourth quarter threes you hit were passes from him. But I don't know if you're aware, but fans watch you guys on the court, see how much you interact, and I thought Twitter was going to go nuts when you guys knuckle tapped tonight.
Yeah, we're trying to play together and help each other, and we want to win. At the end, we all want to win here, and that's it. We have to keep playing together and keep playing well and help each other.
Okay, so, what's your takeaway on that, Brian? I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
No, this is a guy that thinks he's on the same level with Luka.
Oh,
This is a guy, we talked about this.
Yesterday,
we talked about the superstar player. And what does he think of himself? And how does he view? He doesn't see himself as, if you're a guy that was afraid of Luka and to say something, usually players are like, hey, man, I'm going to take the high road here and all that, and say, he's not afraid of Luka. He sees himself just as much as a superstar as Luka is. Yeah. And so my impression of that is like, I'm going to say what's true here, that we're trying to get along, but I'm not going to cower down or bow to him or anything like that. I'll tell you what it is. Yeah. we're trying to win here, but I don't have to. I don't have to be nice to him right now, but we are trying to win on the court.
It's obvious there's no bro situation happening at all. There's not a lot of smiles and high fives, and I don't know that matters when it comes to winning and losing, because there's been so many personalities, and even the greatest teams that have on-court or on-field chemistry might not go hang out. It's a business situation,
Absolutely.
but they complement each other incredibly well when the game starts. So I don't think it's that important, as long as the relationship doesn't deteriorate to the point that a guy starts freezing one another out, or a guy stops giving effort because he wants to go somewhere else. That's when it would start to impact the on-court situation. And at least, they're playing well outside of the corona, so it couldn't be that bad. It's not like it's preventing them from getting anywhere near their potential like the Boston Celtics right now. There's a situation where chemistry has eroded their ability to perform on court.
There was a time during that game yesterday, I don't know if you guys noticed it watching, where when Luka has the ball out front and KP's kind of next to him, it's like he was like looking at him like, all right, bro, throw me the ball here. Luka is trying to figure out how he's going to navigate the drive to maybe get the kick. So what I think Porzingis figured out, it's like, okay, in this game, I got to keep moving. If I keep moving, I'm going to get his attention. And that's where
he kept running over.
He just kept running over. His movement is like, listen, bro, I'm not going to stand over here. He did hit a ball. He hit a shot of 3 from the corner, which is actually something we haven't seen from him a whole lot. But his idea in that game, like I just noticed there was at one time where Luka he was to his right. He was to Luka's right, and Luka didn't even look at him. And KP's like, the heck with this. All right, I'm going to start running around here.
Coming over to you.
And I'm going to get in your way, and you're going to notice me. And I think that's what he did. He took that approach. He's like, I will get your attention on this floor. You need to find me with that ball.
Well, I do think it's important that Porzingis spreads his wings and, builds that kind of a vibe or a feeling on the court, because I feel like even though he's 7'3", sometimes he's a little mousy, as he interacts not only with his own teammates but with the opposition. So I think stronger, more assertive Porzingis is good. I think
last night he was kind of pissed.
He was pissed,
and he played that way because he wanted to get to a press conference after the game where he had 20-something points and 17 rebounds, and they won, and he was like, "Told you, I need the ball. I told you."
Well, we've seen him do this for short stretches, though. That's the problem. And the problem with chip on the shoulder guy is what happens when you have a game like last night and the chip's gone. Now I'm in a good mood. Are you going to show up the next night? No, you're not. No, unless you have a great matchup, the chip's gone. That's your motivation. That's why guys like Luka Garza with Iowa, who are so even-keeled, are impressive. And that's why they can be so consistent, is they don't need to play emotional yo-yo with themselves to get up for moments.
And that is my, with the Luka KP thing, I think there's a lot of things. One, they are not buddy-buddy. Two, that's probably just fine. I'm sure a lot of people who aren't friends have done really well at playing sports together, so it's probably fine. Now, 3 is where I go reckless speculation. Incredibly reckless, totally unfair. I think they don't get along great because Luka would like him to try his hardest all the time. That is my incredibly reckless theory, is that Luka, while he has his warts as well, like leave the damn refs alone, stop getting teed up so much, chill out, that doesn't help the team. KP's effort level from night to night is so up and down.
It's good speculation.
When
I like that.
When he is,
it's not even reckless, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of reckless. Who am I to say if a guy's playing hard?
I was getting a little nervous for a second, but I was like, you know what? He might have a point.
Who am I to say if a guy's playing hard? But I think Luka is, even though he's not hyper competitive about his fitness all the time, he is hyper competitive about winning at basketball. And like, you're not going to beat me. And if you do, it hurts me. I hate this. And I think KP is more like, I'm good at basketball. It's fun. Yeah. If we win, that's cool. I just need the rock.
Do you think Luka takes his energy, though? I mean, when he doesn't get him involved and doesn't get him going, do you think that KP's energy level might go down because
probably
he's like, hey, like I said, him moving around last night, there's been nights where he hasn't moved. Yeah. And I can understand why. And then he's like, well, hell, this guy's just going to take the ball and he's going to drive it. He's going to kick it to Dodo, and Dodo's going to miss a 3. Yeah. Well, why? Yeah.
By the way, I love that they know exactly where the guys that are in the corners are going to be.
Right.
Because now one of Luka's go-to moves is passing it over his shoulder while he's driving without knowing. It's like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And he does it 4 times a night.
Yeah.
Because they know, hey, if you're the corner guy when I drive, don't move.
Yeah.
Because when I see everybody coming, it's just going over my shoulder. Just be there.
If he can get that corner one dialed in, that could be a tremendous weapon. It's significantly shorter, and it's really tough for defenses to cover everything they see in front of him and also be able to break and get down there. And that's why some players like Dorian Finney-Smith, Kyle Korver can make an absolute career out of being able to hit that shot. I have 2 additional pieces of reckless speculation.
Oh, hell yes. I like this. Remember to make it a compliment sandwich.
Okay. That's tough to do with KP.
What about this? I'll start with, golly, you're right.
It was one of his better games last night.
It was a great game.
There you go.
It was nice.
And end with that too.
He very okay. I gotta write it down here real quick. And
great game by KP last night.
Yes.
Played well.
Okay. I think maybe the trade deadline shot something through Porzingis that made it feel less of a family, less of a oasis in the desert, and maybe that is a little bit of the underlying root cause. But I also like what Brian said, that KP thinks he's as good. And I think that might be creating a little bit of Luka envy, like LaMarcus Aldridge and Damian Lillard. Lillard got there, he starts taking over, and Aldridge is like, but I was the guy, Brandon Roy got hurt, and it was me. And it's like, well, I want out of here then, guys, if I can't be the guy.
And KP's got diva in him. We know that.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot that goes to it, and it's why it's best when it comes to acquiring your star players if you can, draft one year and then draft one the next year, and they come up together, and all of a sudden it's like they were hungry, they were wide-eyed and open-eared, they were both listening to coach, and their roles developed organically. You try to put them together after they're already stars, it can be tough, and I hopefully it doesn't get any worse than it's been. The wins are going to help. If they would have lost last night with everything that was said yesterday and everything that's been happening, it could have got really weird.
Well, I tracked during the game. First half, no high fives between Luka and KP.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, they got to about 2 and a fist bump, and Luka patted him on the butt twice.
Let's go.
Sure,
because they were going to win the game, and Luka got excited, and so he showed love to KP. But normally, if one of them does something good, watch them going back down the court, they won't look at the other one.
Wow.
They don't even look.